question, where did we come from? Apes, aliens, or Adam? Today we're going to talk a little bit about geology, and geology that doesn't make you do this. Go to sleep like I did in earth science class in ninth grade. Couldn't wait for that. I don't know what it was. Seemed like an eternity. Hour and a half long. We looked at that clock and it seemed like we were in solitary confinement. It was so bad. But when you look at geology from the standpoint of asking the question, are rocks millions of years old? Do they take a long time to form? What about fossilization? Does that take a long time to form? Are fossils really millions of years old? And if not, then what's the alternative? There are two factions that are vying for your attention. One, evolution. The other, which you may not be as familiar with, is creationism. One is that everything was formed naturally, without any outside aid, and it happened slowly over millions, actually billions of years. The other, that's found in the account in the book of Genesis, states that this earth may be very, very old, but life on earth was created in a 7-day period, some 6,000 to 10,000 years ago, and that the fossil record that we see, the geology of the strata that we see, is actually created during a horrific 1-year-long worldwide flood some 4,400 years ago. Friends, both of them sound fantastic. The question is, who's right? We're just going to share some evidence, so to speak, let you evaluate what you think about it. Now, in this box right here that we're going to be opening for the first time, I have not seen or touched the evidence, the artifact that is in here. And the artifact is in here is a stone pillow. And I'll explain in just a second how in the world it became stone by showing you another artifact that I've had for a couple of years now. This right here is a plush teddy bear, kind you would find in any toy store. Well, this little baby teddy bear was purchased in Karloff Vary in the Czech Republic. And I asked them to take this exact bear and put it in their mineral springs. And they were more than happy to do that for us. What came out approximately 6 weeks later was this. And let me let you listen to what it sounds like. This is the exact same bear. One went through a mineralization process. The other obviously didn't. Now, what does this all mean? If a 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, whatever the veneer is on this, can form in just 6 weeks when you have water and minerals, no heat. It wasn't necessary. The temperature may be slightly elevated there, but not like 200-300 degrees or whatever. It produces this. So it's not time per se, it's conditions. When the conditions are correct, things form. Fossils. We'll talk about that in another episode, but I'm going to show you a fossil in an upcoming video that we're going to do that formed within 2 days, 48 hours. Now, geologists will roll their eyes and say, of course we know that rocks can form quickly. Of course we know that fossils form quickly. Really, really. And that's the impression that is given in the high school, let's just say high school science books. That's the impression you get when you search for, how long does rock take to form, or the stalactites and stalagmites take to form. And that's the impression that we get in the movies that we see. Where do they get that information from? No. We basically are under the impression, and pay attention, paleontologists and geologists, we are under the impression that rock takes a long time to form, the strata, that is the layers. are a result of long periods of time of slow formations with maybe punctuated local catastrophes that they now are, since the 1980s, willing to subscribe, whatever, attest to. Very good. I'm glad. But we can't go too far because a worldwide catastrophic event would then suggest that there was a supernatural involvement and that we didn't come from amoebas and proto-RNA. We came from a creator. And that's anathema in the scientific world. Now, that doesn't mean that science is bad. Science is good. Matter of fact, the people that started this whole scientific process were creationists. Yes, young Earth creationists that believed in a worldwide flood in the 15, 16, and early 1700s. But let's take a look. So in Karloff Vary, we got this bear transformation. I love these examples. This is, by the way, just FYI, is aragonite. Aragonite is a calcite. Now, I'm not a geologist, nor do I play one on television, but 101 on geology, we'll learn a little bit here. I'm learning as I'm going, so I just want to let you know I don't have all the answers. I'm just going to present as I learn, and that's how it will always be. This is limestone right here, okay? Limestone is full of, you ready for this? Calcite or aragonite. Now, the reason why the color difference is that there's some iron that is in the water, and that's the reason why this bear is orange, red, burnt red, and not white like this. But essentially, the same exact makeup or minerals that are in limestone are also covering this bear. So, how long does limestone take to form? Before I open this package, I want to show you one more piece of evidence and a question that is a result of this. Okay? In the Paluxy River in Glen Rose, Texas, there is a ton of dinosaur prints in limestone. Now, this is a cast of one that was taken out 2 years ago by the local paleontologists at the Dinosaur Valley State Park in Glen Rose, Texas. Now, here's the crazy thing about this. I personally measured last fall, September, how deep some of these tracks are. Now, look at this. This is, I would say 3/4 of an inch. Okay? So in this case, this dinosaur stepped in mud that allowed, based on his weight, to depress into the ground 3/4 of an inch. Friends, I measured heavier dinosaurs because the footprints were larger. Heavier dinosaurs that created a 13-inch deep impression in limestone. How in the world do you get, and go ahead and start studying this on your own. Look it up in Wikipedia. How is limestone formed? Then ask this question. How does at least 13-inch layer of limestone get laid down in a massive area, considering it's not mud, it's limestone mud? There's a difference. Limestone mud is like taking cement, concrete, maybe without all the pebbles in it, and then just putting massive amounts of it, pouring it all over the ground. And how it behaves is similar to how this would behave. You would put your impression in, and you would hope that nobody touched it, and there was then no water over it. Or if the water was over it, it wasn't moving. Or if sediment could then go over it and cover it before it got a chance to deteriorate. And then it hardened, just like cement. It hardened just like cement. So how are these created? Look, from an evolutionary standpoint, I'm not sure what the answer to that is. I know from a creationist standpoint, during the worldwide flood, you have massive amounts of sediment being laid down in succession over a very short period of time. So you get that layering effect done quickly. And had there been 13 inches of limestone, obviously there was, laid down quickly, the dinosaur waded through it, put its footprint in it, and then 12 hours to 24 hours later, another sedimentary layer came and filled it in, preserving it for us today. Makes complete sense. But here's what I'm asking. Don't take my word for it. Don't even believe what I'm saying. But just consider that as you consider, if this is, your thing, consider the evolutionary proposition. There is another proposition that I believe is equally, and to my way of thinking, superior. So, now let me show you what's in the box, okay? You guys have been very good about that. Let me see. Our Argentinosaurus. Actually, the footprint was put down by a sauropod. They don't know what type of sauropod it was. It could have been a Brachiosaurus or whatever, but the ones that I saw were round. And were the three-toed dinosaurs that deep as well too? I'm not quite sure. But they are like 6 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches, many of them, and they're heavier. So they're going to, create a bigger impression based on their weight as well too. But that's a lot of limestone mud, and I think that's the point. All right, let's go ahead and open this up. Again, what we got in here is from originally Karloff Vary in the Czech Republic. And I cannot wait to take a look at it. It is a pillow that was turned to stone. And you guys are going to be able to see it for the first time, as well as I am. Now in Karloff Vary, again, that's in the Czech Republic, and they have, and you can look it up, the minerals, they've been known for their mineral springs since the 1500s. Some people feel that bathing in it or drinking it at one time brought greater health, So let's take a look and see what we got here. All right, well, we got something called the pillow. Pull here. Boy, this guy's great. Are you guys ready? All right. Wow, it's pretty heavy too. Basically, when we show the bear turning to stone in a very short period of time, and this pillow as well too, what it tells us is that the ability for aragonite, which is a calcite, which is the same in limestone, except that this has iron in it, that's the reason why it's this color, has the ability to solidify or create quickly. All right, and any geologist, whether it be creationist or an evolutionary geologist, if you want to call it that, will tell you that's true. But the impression is that it's given to us, at least us laymen, is that it takes millions of years. And they don't want to argue that, meaning that in many cases, it does take millions of years, according to them. If all of this that we're seeing, the fossils and the layers and everything, were done in a very short period of time, then you would need to demonstrate today, if you could replicate those conditions, to show that that can happen quickly. And that's what we're doing. So you can accept this, you can question it, and that's fine. This is what this is for you to look at things and consider, is it apes, aliens, or Adam? There you go. I don't think anybody would want to sleep on this. Oh, and let me let you listen to it, okay? That doesn't sound like a pillow that I would want to sleep on. There you have it. The pillow that was put into the mineral springs in Karloff Vary. We'll do an actual video on this. We'll give you a little bit more information. There you go. There you go. All right, guys and gals. I want to thank you for joining us. And we have a link down in the description, museumalerts.com. And in there you can get a free report called the three reasons why Noah's Ark still exists. And for those of you that would like to get a reminder when we do go live, if you don't click the little bell when you subscribe, there is a phone number down there. You can text me and I'll text you back, and it's free for the United States and for Canada only. 315-509-9075. And we have a few hundred people that get once in a while a real bonus or a link or an alert. Nothing obnoxious. And if you want to get a little cozier with us, you're more than welcome to text me and say, hey, John. And I'll say, hey, Bob. Hey, Mary. Welcome to the museum text group. All right. So we're good for now. I want to thank you for joining us today here on our live, and ask the question. Questions don't hurt, especially if they're questions that lead to, shall I say, enlightenment, or in a direction that perhaps you weren't going in, that will change your life forever. Did we come from apes, aliens, or Adam? I'm John Adolfi, wishing you a very good day, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. We'll see you in the next video.